Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and I just got back from Australia a week ago today. And so today I wanted to talk about long haul travel favorites. So not only did I just come back from Australia, but back in December I also went to New Zealand. So I've been on quite a few 10+ hour long plane rides in the last couple months, and I have developed or kind of found some things that I feel like you should definitely take with you if you have a similar length flight, because they're super helpful. And just a couple things. Yes, I did cut my hair. I cut it before I went to Australia and I quite like it. And yes, I am filming this on St. Patrick's Day, which is why I've got a lot of green on. But without further ado, let's get to my favorites. When I'm on a plane for a really long period of time, I've kind of got three main categories of problems, issues, things that I am looking to solve with the stuff I bring with me. So category 1 is being cold, category 2 is being bored, and category 3 is trying to sleep. So I thought we would start with category of being cold. So the first thing I brought with me, and this thing is brilliant, it was a Christmas gift, it's from Costco, it's a down blanket. So it's really quite thin, but oh my goodness, it's so warm. It's like, this thing is amazing. And so it packs down kind of like this, and I think if you got a compression stuff sack rather than the one that it comes with, you could get it down even smaller because it's still pretty soft when it's at about this size. And for me, 100% worth making room for this in my carry-on bag. It also came in useful when I was traveling. So this thing is brilliant. Yeah, it is from Costco, so I'm not sure of advice on sourcing it because Costco sort of brings awesome things in, and then if you miss it, it's just gone. But if you can find yourself a down blanket and you are a cold person like I am, highly recommend it. The other part of the being cold, staying warm sort of equation is what you wear. So I tend to wear a lot of layers. I usually wear yoga pants, and then I'll have merino wool tops. So I usually do a merino wool sort of like singlet, tank top sort of thing, and then a long sleeve top over top of that, and then a hoodie. And on this flight, I actually did not bring a sort of, I'll often bring an insulated mid-layer, something like an Atom LT from Arc'teryx, so that I've got another even warmer layer. But I did that when I went to New Zealand, and I found that was actually, it was much too much for the plane. And I never really needed it in New Zealand, and I knew I definitely wasn't going to need it in Australia. So I actually sort of didn't do that. Something that I bring just for the plane is comfy socks, because I know I'm going to want to take my shoes off. I don't want to wear shoes for 15 hours when you kind of count in all of the time that you spend in airports and everything, even longer than that. So I bring comfy socks, and this is a pair of, as you can see, well-loved Icebreaker socks. These are technically like supposed to be heavy-duty hiking socks, but I pretty much wear these exclusively as slippers, both at home and on airplanes. So those are awesome. Comfy socks, highly recommended for long plane rides. In the category of being bored, pretty much all transatlantic liners I've been on anytime recently have, you know, a TV installed right in front of your face that has tons and tons and tons of stuff on it to watch, which is great. So you just need headphones. And there are airplane headphones, but I do prefer to bring my own because I know that they're comfortable and they're probably better. And it's also sort of less wasteful. I don't think anybody really goes, oh, score! These headphones are going to be my headphones for like the next 5 years. Like, airplane headphones just get used a handful of times, and I think probably thrown out. So it just seems wasteful. So I bring my own. And so these are the standard headphone jack, and then I bring my dongle because I have one of those iPhones that doesn't have a real headphone jack anymore. It was one of those things where I was like, this won't be that big of an issue when I got the phone. It's like, it's actually kind of a pain in the butt. So I've definitely traveled before where I made the mistake of just bringing the headphones that have this thing, and then I could only use my headphones with my phone, and that was annoying. So I would recommend bringing normal headphones plus stupid dongle if you are living in this headphone dongle world with me, and if not, that's one less thing to think about for you. Something else that gives me some entertainment, like maybe half an hour of entertainment, is doing a bit of a skincare routine on the plane. And so this is where I find samples come in really, really handy, because they're, you know, just in these little envelopes here, and you can give them a try, which is nice, and it doesn't take up too much room in your bag. I also bring my cellar water for cleaning my face and little cotton pads for that. So that does give you something to do for a little while, and it's good to throw on all kinds of hydrating layers because airplanes are really, really dry. Something I would really recommend doing is bringing a small bag of something like the sort of thing that you would buy produce in at the grocery store, because I sort of found that as I started emptying all of these and using up cotton pads with my cellar water, I was left with this sort of small pile of little pieces of garbage, and I had nowhere to kind of collect it. And I didn't want to sort of just like hand the flight attendant like a handful of damp like paper and like leaking envelopey paper products. So yeah, I wish I had sort of thought to bring a bit of a garbage baggy thing for me, but yeah, definitely pack some kind of a skincare routine because it'll entertain you for like maybe half an hour. In the sleep category, comfort is dubious on a plane. I really like getting a window seat if I can, so I know I have something to lean up against. Sometimes the headrest, like the wings, will actually be sturdy enough that you can kind of fold them up around your head and sleep on them. Unfortunately for me, on my flight back when I was in an aisle seat, 100% not that, and I spent like 8 hours doing that kind of as your, it was not cool. So one of the things that I'm really glad that I brought is my own pillow. And so you'll see this is not the smallest travel pillow ever, but it's really great. So it's from a brand called NEMO, and it's actually pretty darn big, and it's inflatable. And you can like strap some clothes to it if you so desire, or you can kind of strap it to your arm. But my favorite thing about this is, when you inflate it enough, it actually has a bit of structure to it, so I could kind of hold it and kind of sleep on it like this. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was a lot better than the head jerky business that was going on through before I started kind of propping this up places. I have looked at a bunch of other like travel specific pillows specifically for flying. This is more of a camping pillow because NEMO mostly specializes in like awesome camping and backpacking gear. But none of the reviews are really all that great. You get a handful of people being like, this has revolutionized flying for me, and then a bunch of people are just like, this is really not that great, I returned it. So I figured I would go with something I already have, and yeah, the height of this for the propping up of the head turned out to be awesome. One of the biggest parts of me sleeping well is having a blackout sleeping mask and earplugs. These things are so helpful. Airplanes are loud, people are noisy, they always still have some kind of light going on in them, so pairing this bad boy with some earplugs is amazing. I would highly recommend bringing more than just 2 earplugs on the plane. I got lucky and I had 3 because I kind of find that one of them will like sneak out and will fall down somewhere in the seats area, and then you're never finding that again. And if you do, it's probably covered in airplane lint and you don't want to stick back in your ear. So bring more than 2 earplugs because they tend to bail on you. And then yeah, this sleeping mask has been amazing for traveling with. Highly recommended. Something else I'm a big fan of for longer flights longer than 10 hours, I wouldn't bother on, say, a flight to London, which is usually only like 7-8-ish hours from here, is something to help you sleep, in the form of a pill. I would recommend just going to see your doctor and telling them that you've got a really long haul flight and chatting with them about what the options are. There are some over-the-counter things that'll help you sleep too. I would always recommend trying it out at home before you try it out on a plane, because on a plane you are in a semi-public place, and I would hate for you to try something for the very first time on an airplane. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I know not everybody is, but kind of the way I look at it, for me at least, is I'm either going to have some chemical assistance sleeping, or I'm going to need later on chemical assistance staying awake, probably in the form of caffeine. So I would rather have it on the sleeping side and make the plane ride sort of slightly more pleasant and feel a little shorter, but yeah. So when you're traveling for over a day, over 24 hours, it is nice to have some food and drink on your person that is yours. And so I always have a water bottle with me. This is my Swell water bottle. It is a vacuum sealed water bottle, so everything stays cool, which is really lovely. And it's only 500 mils, so if I have to panic drink it at security before sending my backpack through the scanner, I can. It's a little more sort of uncomfortable when it's like a full liter of water. And then for snacks, I do like to bring snacks. I like to bring things that still kind of work if they get crushed. Obviously things that aren't liquid, because those get confiscated at security, and things that are sort of reasonably calorically dense. Like I'm not packing a salad, I'm more likely to be bringing things like banana bread or chocolate covered almonds or cheese and some like soft pita bread or something like that. Things that, yeah, don't really need to be refrigerated. I usually shy away from bringing too many fresh things, because most of the time when you cross borders, those things can get taken away. So when you fly out of Calgary, if you're flying through the States, you actually go through American Customs here in Calgary. So that's where they'll take that stuff away from you before you even get through security. So it's nice to not have your snacks taken away from you before you can eat them, right? And then of course, countries like Australia and New Zealand have quite strict biosecurity laws. So even if you don't get them taken away from you, on your way out of your departing country, they'll probably get taken away from you when you land. So make sure you're only bringing enough food that you can eat and that you're sort of allowed to have it. Otherwise, yeah, you're just going to end up throwing that away in the biosecurity amnesty bins. But yes, having some snacks of your own is really nice. I do find they feed you really well on those transatlantic liners. I was never hungry on those, but I did have a 7-hour layover in San Francisco, so it was nice to have some of my own snacks for that. Now, what am I putting this in? This is my Rucksack number 21. It's made by Fjallraven, and this has been my sort of carry-on bag and travel backpack of choice pretty much since I got it. So the first trip I took this on was the trip I took to Europe in 2016, and it's been really lovely. So with this bag, I can fit my, the travel pillow and the down throw and my socks right in the bottom of it, and then I usually throw my camera on top because I don't let that out of my sight, and then sort of snacks on top of my camera, water bottle on the side, skincare up front, and then because that's usually where the liquids are going to be, I can pull that out really easily when I'm going through security, and then I can slide, a tablet, an iPad or something in here, and then up here usually ends up being like my lip balm and my charger cords, and I can kind of clip my headphones because they come in a handy little case here and with a little beaner on them, so I can kind of clip my headphones onto something on the inside of there so that I can fish them out easily. But yeah, this pack is pretty darn good, quite comfortable, looks good in pictures, consideration, and yeah, has proven to be very durable and lovely. So yeah, and it fits really well underneath the seat, which is great because I put a ton of stuff in here that I want to access throughout the flight. I don't want to throw it up top because then you have to get up a bunch to get stuff out of it. So yeah, fits really nicely under this chair thing ahead of you. All right, those are my long haul travel favorites. I would love to hear what you make sure you have in your bag when you travel. And I'm sure I'll probably be taking more long haul flights in the future, so I can always improve my system and I would love your input. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you'd like to learn more about my trip to Australia. I just published yesterday a blog post on my trip there with lots of pictures and things, and I'm still sharing lots of photos on Instagram because of course I took hundreds of them, so I'll probably be sharing them sprinkled into my Instagram content for the next couple months at least. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.